And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
Donald, JD.
It's President Trump. Are you stupid?
What?
You come into the Oval Office, you call the President of the United States President Trump.
Sorry, President Trump.
That's better.
But my brothers, my comrades, they're suffering.
Here we go.
I'm begging you. Ukraine needs cash, like yesterday.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Tell him, boss.
But Mr. President, Biden isn't helping me anymore. My money is gone. I'm screwed. I've got bills piling up. And
Shut your little disrespectful gold-digging mouth up. Let me tag in, boss.
I got this. But my mansion in Kyiv needs a gold-plated hot tub.
Listen here, you little Yeah, you little First off, you. Yeah, you.
Second,
Just what in the trailer park double-wide chicken fried steak are you wearing right now, hillbilly?
these are my good sweats.
You show up to my house dressed like you're getting ready to play hee-haw with the around game, and you expect me to take you seriously? Yeah, you hee-haw looking.
This is my house.
Yeah, this is Trump's house. You got that, you little bitch? When you come into my house, you dress like a big boy. Yeah, not a Power Ranger who's getting ready to have a sleepover with Diddy.
But Mr. President, I'm starving over here. My Ferraris are running on fumes, and I haven't eaten at a 5-star restaurant in weeks.
Whoa. Hold the phone. Yeah, hold the phone. Did you just say you're crying about your fancy cars and your little dictator mansion? Yep, that's what he said, boss.
Americans are eggless.
Eggless! Out there eating top ramen? While they pray their gas pumps don't hit triple digits? You bitch.
And you're over here with your sad story? I'm doing bad too.
Fuck you. Yeah, you. You've got some pair of balls on you. Yeah, you piece of shit. You've got huge balls. Maybe the biggest I've ever seen. But your sob stories and your poor me bullshit, that don't work on me.
But Biden used
I don't give a what Biden used to do. Biden's done up America. Says here you spent $200 million of our taxpayer dollars on caviar and private jets.
What the fuck? I only do that on the weekends. I don't do that every day.
Meanwhile, Ohio's got potholes bigger than your ego. What's your deal, man? You think America's your personal piggy bank?
Look, I'm doing bad. I'm down to 4 butlers. And my wife's mad because we can't afford the diamond-encrusted toilet she wanted. I need money now.
Enough! You're a disgrace. Yeah, you're a disgrace.
This is outrageous. I'm a war hero. I deserve respect. I deserve cash and a new private jet with a stripper pole. You can't treat me like this.
Zip it, you little bitch. You want a spanking? Huh? Do it, boss. Spank that little shit. You're on my naughty list, you little weasel. No more handouts for you. Yeah, you get nothing and like it.
But I'm suffering.
You want to talk suffering, huh? Talk to the single mom in Detroit who can't buy groceries because her taxes went to your stupid war games. Yeah, you asshole. Now you're gonna sit on my lap and take your spanking like a man. And you're gonna think about what you've done.
But Mr. President.
Nope. The talking is over. Yeah, no more talk for you.
You're gonna have to learn to respect me.
I don't want to talk about this again. Yeah, lose those fatigues, dude. You're not dodging bullets. You're dodging audits. Yeah, I read on X you got a secret penthouse in Miami. Is that true? Don't lie, you little Answer me, I swear on Meg I'll send Elon Musk to Ukraine on a rocket to dodge your whole country.
All right, yes, it's true.
Are you broke?
No, I'm actually doing really good.
What have you been doing with America's money, asshole?
I've been using it as firewood.
You've been burning our money while Americans suffer?
Well, I don't like to get splinters. They hurt my fingers.
Get out of my country. Yeah, get the out. And if I ever hear you begging for money again, I'm gonna throw you in the same cell as Epstein. Now go get me a chicken pot pie and a Mountain Dew.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. Thanks for being here, all of you censored commoners. I'm Lord Sterling, and this is episode 342. We've got the FBI missing the Epstein deadline. Ehud Barak, former PM of Israel, named in the Epstein Phase 1 documents. We missed that yesterday. We also have Trump getting ready to investigate the White House cocaine scandal after kicking out Zelensky from the White House entirely. which is hilarious. We'll get into all that and more on this episode of Common Censored. Make sure to join us Monday through Friday, 6:45 p.m.-ish Eastern Time as we cover all the crazy clown world clusterfuck chaos that is 2025. Use hashtag Common Censored and hashtag InfoInfantry where applicable when you share the show. You can find us on X at @LordSterling_. We're also on Truth, Getter, Gab, and Minds. That's right, Mama Mac. Trump, I saw he was going to be signing an executive order to make English the official language of the United States. He followed through, Mama Mac. Good. Good. Assimilate or be deported. Thanks again to our new followers over on Rumble. Our voice is still a little fucked up today, so we'll probably do another half episode today, maybe an hour and a half long, something like that, so I'm not pushing my voice too hard. Links to all the topics we discuss will be posted in the video description on Rumble after the broadcast and in the replies on X, and Mama Mac will be adding timestamps as we go. So thanks, Mama Mac. And if you're watching this later on, click on down there in the video description, skim through the topics we cover, and jump right to the point in the episode where we talk about the things you want to hear. Throw Mama Mac some love over at alplama.com, ALPLAMA.com. Alplama, yo mama, so to speak, your new herbal health guru. Thanks so much, Mama Mac, for your help. And if you want to support the show directly, you can hit up our link tree at Common Censored. Disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. Boom. All right, let's jump into the news. That was the United spot. Zelensky in the Oval Office. Hilarious. Thought that was pretty good. Thanks, Ed, for sending that. Dame Pam, what's up, cuz? I see you in the chat over there. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us today. Mama Mac, big as life. Thanks, Biggs, for that big Rumble rant yesterday. Appreciate you, brother. Bryce Acosta. Who else we got over here? Sam Duty Crazy B. Ed Hoskins, Tri-Stater, Billdozer, Tulip McGroin. What's up, everybody? Always good to see you all. Let's see what we got first on the topics for today. FBI, man. They are FAing a lot. They missed the deadline to deliver the all of the thousands of pages of Epstein docs to the White House today, or to Pam Bondi's office, specifically Epstein files. FBI misses deadline. Bondi demands transparency. Attorney General Pam Bondi accused the FBI of withholding thousands of pages related to Jeffrey Epstein, setting a deadline for their delivery by 8 a.m. today. But apparently, nothing happened. Ian Carroll saying, suddenly my whole timeline is Zelensky. Sorry, don't care. They would love for us to stop talking about Epstein. I saw yesterday on, actually early this morning before I went to sleep on Veteran Biker, they were talking about, he was talking to Ben, of course, the vet biker was talking about, people were asking, is the Epstein thing a distraction from all the other stuff that's going on? I say wholeheartedly, no, the Epstein thing is at the center of everything. They want us to be distracted from Epstein because you get to the bottom of the Epstein barrel, you know, and it is just, there's just tentacles that connect to everything. It is like the heart. If you want to strike at the deep state, you got to unveil the Epstein stuff and it'll set off a domino chain reaction that will just get everywhere. So we got to definitely get to the bottom of that. Pam Bondi reportedly furious over not receiving the Epstein files from New York's office. Let's see. Who was Bryce Acosta saying, who at SDNY and New York office are blocking? Lucas Issacharoff and Maureen Comey. Oh, Maureen Comey. Yeah, it may be. Priestap's buddies, Dennehy, Driscoll, Kissane? Good questions. Good questions. Let's see. Where's that comment? Pull it up so you guys can see the names that he's calling out over here. Bryce Acosta, thanks for commenting. Yeah, yes, that Zelensky argument is insane, but where's the Epstein list? Guys, got to agree. Whitney Cummings over there. Has anyone thought about the Epstein files for the last 60 minutes after the whole Zelensky thing was going down? I was. Stu Peters getting a little bit uncomfortable over here, but you know, we're going to talk about it anyway. He's saying, I'm going to go ahead and post what everyone is thinking in the back of their mind, but they're too afraid to say we're never getting the Epstein files. And here's some archival footage of the with Epstein. I don't think this is relevant, though, because we had that video of the prosecutor guy back in 2009 saying, yeah, we contacted all kinds of people to try to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein and get witnesses, and Trump is the only guy who gave us everything we wanted to do. We didn't even have to subpoena him. He voluntarily gave us information, good information, gave no evidence that he was, implicated in any of this stuff. And then he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. So I don't think that that the Don is involved at all. And if he was, go ahead and release it anyway, because it's the only possible chance you have at any type of redemption. Kravitz, protectors of the pedophiles. The files regarding the peds. Yeah, we got to get this information out immediately. Anonymous at Yoranon News saying they're never going to release the Epstein files to the public. Epstein victim says there are tapes of Donald Trump recorded by Epstein having sex with, quote, many girls. I don't know about that. Kind of doubt it. Eric Doherty posting 8 a.m. on the East Coast earlier. The deadline has passed. The deadline has passed. So what the hell is going on? If you guys have any poignant updates on that, let me know. Let me know. I don't know if Bondi has released any statements yet or anything. Let's go ahead and check. Pam Bondi. We'll go right over to her X page over here. Doesn't look like she's been very active today. Just reposting things. Nope. We got nothing, guys. We got nothing. Bruce Porter Jr., 10:45 a.m. No files, no FBI raids, no doors kicked in, no arrests. What the hell, man? What the hell? Let's see. Latest. Excuse me. Yeah, you can tell we're not a cult because the quote conservatives or libertarians, MAGA is not just letting this go. People are fucking pissed about this. I saw a bunch of like sort of leftoid accounts saying, well, looks like MAGA is definitely not a cult because everyone's really fucking mad about this. Look at that. Why is every influencer who received an Epstein binder relentlessly defending Mossad? Good question. So
what I don't like is people who are biased, and we all have them.
Like you?
I don't like that I hear people immediately go to the Clintons or Mossad, because that's just not sophisticated. First,
it's not sophisticated? You mean like Ghislaine Maxwell's dad? Robert Maxwell, who was Mossad, it's not justified.
Yes, and we all have them. I don't like that I hear people immediately go to the Clintons or Mossad, because that's just not.
I don't know if you guys remember Isaac Cappy. There's a video of him saying that right before he died, that Cernovich was a foreign agent, unregistered foreign agent. That's interesting. Who could he be operating on behalf of? Sorry, did I just end a sentence in a preposition? I should know better than that, shouldn't I? As an alleged federal agent.
You are a federal agent. You represent the United States government. Never end a sentence with a preposition.
Oh. Yeah, that's Cernovich build those.
Sophisticated, first of all, and it's vaguely anti-Semitic. Mossad. Well, why? If Epstein were with Mossad, he'd be with the FBI too, right? You really think if Jeffrey Epstein was working for Mossad, that our own FBI wouldn't have intercepts of those conversations?
Well, we have Epstein also on record as an informant for the FBI, so it's all connected. You think the FBI, that Mossad doesn't have their little dirty tentacles all inside the FBI as well? Cernovich? I kind of doubt that.
Right. So why just jump? Oh, Mossad. Why just jump there? Why not Civilians Activities Group? Why not? Maybe there's a department in the State Department that monitors this stuff, right? So why go there? And also Clinton, that's just a cliche. They don't have any power. The Prince Andrew, though.
Why go there? Because Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was Mossad.
Royalty, they have power. So it could be the FBI and other elements, not the FBI, qua FBI, but elements within it could be. But that's why I just really am disappointed with a lot of people who are taking hokey, hacky, campy conspiracy theories that are too well-trodden, well-worn. What we're dealing with...
Oh, we're just anti-Semites, right? That's it. That's got to be the explanation. It's got to be the explanation, guys. Look at this. What do we have here? Isaac Cappy. Oh, remember him? He was exposing Hollywood pedos, etc. And he said, they're about to kill me. I'm not going to commit suicide. Then, bam, dead. Supposedly jumped off of a bridge onto a highway. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's hear what Isaac Cappy has to say.
All over the place, guys. All over the place. Jack Posobiec, Gabe Hoffman, Mike Cernovich, Laura Loomer. Gabe Hoffman is running ops on people.
So, Jack Posobiec, Mike Cernovich, they were both there getting the binders yesterday.
He is a bad guy, dudes. I look like I've seen a ghost. Yeah, I have. And someone that was very close to me, I'm pretty sure they were just there to infiltrate me. These are really fucking bad people, and I'm beyond pissed. I don't even know how to describe the feeling inside of me. It's bad. It's bad, guys. These people are bad. They tried to set someone up that you know and love. They're fucking evil. These people are evil. These people are evil. They're unregistered foreign agents. Schroeder? No, not Schroeder. Not Schroeder. Oh, boy. How did I find out? Gestalt's deductive reasoning. So that means Jason Boss, by the way, collaborated with Mossad agents. Jason Boss, the guy that torpedoed Michael Whalen. Let's see. I think probably Random Rants of Ryan got paid off. Is gay from Open Secret? Yes, he is. Zio-Khazarian people. Very much so. Zionist Khazarian people. Khazarian mafia. These people are protecting slave traders. Arnon Milchan. Arnon Milchan. Do you know that name? Arnon Milchan. Another one. I wasn't going to say anything today, but I prayed, and then Jesus said he had my back, so. Guys, also, the mystery company.
Sketchy. Jack Posobiec, Gabe Hoffman, Mike Cernovich, Laura Loomer. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Here we have accusations of Cernovich literally was one of the people working with Epstein's lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, to defend Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The idea that Trump would give the Epstein files to someone who fought to protect Epstein is obviously too stupid to entertain. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Alan Dershowitz, interesting, introduced to Epstein by a Rothschild. Epstein invited Dershowitz to Lex Wexner's 59th birthday party. Wasn't that the Victoria's Secret guy who's also connected to all kinds of trafficking type stuff. Little bit sketchy. Look at Laura Loomer. Look at Laura Loomer over here. Before she got all kinds of surgeries and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's jump over to this because we do have kind of an important update on the Phase 1 files from yesterday. Big DOJ internal showdown tomorrow morning. Doesn't seem like anything's happened that we were able to see openly. But Jones posted an update yesterday after saying, there's a nothing burger. There's nothing new in here. We got update from Jones last night. Major breaking. Jeffrey Epstein files plot twist. Contrary to news reports, there's new information. There is new information in the files released today by AG Pam Bondi. And would it surprise you if it was Israel related? Just so happens that Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, was caught up in the scandal, aka he was compromised, which means that Israel is, under the control of Mossad potentially, and just like a lot of the U.S.'s. Let's check out this crazy report over here.
Myself, members of Congress, ladies and gentlemen, myself, members of Congress, members of the Senate, everyone has been mistakenly, it appears, reporting that there was no new information in the first tranche of Jeffrey Epstein file information. Well, now I've gotten a full copy of what was released, and I've done a dive on it in the time, not a super deep one, but I'm already pretty much an expert on this. And when I was reading through this, I saw some documents and bombshell stuff that I don't ever remember seeing before, and we went and checked and couldn't find, that is very, very important, including world leaders right next to underage girls being supplied to them in these notes. And it's still heavily redacted. So we're about to go through what looks like new information. 95% of this is not new. But whoever gave this to Pam Bondi saying this is everything slipped in a few new things. So I guess technically they didn't commit total perjury. But this is really turning into a real life mystery. And there's been a bunch of other big developments we're about to lay out.
InfoWars, tomorrow's news today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday evening. We have been up here all day tracking the supposed first
Access is a hell of a drug, Wiley. That's right.
section of Jeffrey Epstein files being released that the new AG Pam Bondi promised last night were going to be released and that it was going to be new information. And then as soon as the reporters came out that had been given the folders, now I've got an actual full copy of one, as soon as we began to look at the documents that they were scanning and showing and flipping through on air, I was like, wait a minute. I've seen all of this before. It's the old flight logs that came out in civil cases and other things, and the criminal trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. And it is some of the Rolodex information of people that Epstein knew, including chefs and including politicians and things, but no evidence of them specifically being clients. And then, of course, we also know that there is, according to the FBI reports and even photos they took in New York at Epstein's facility and Little St. John's Island in the Caribbean and Zorro Ranch compound facility, bizarre medical facility in New Mexico, that there are buildings full of hard drives and VHS tapes and things going back 30 plus years. And so this is not the Epstein hidden information, except I was wrong. There is some new information that I've never seen before, and I've been digging through this stuff longer than anybody. I'm credited with breaking the Epstein story like 15, 16 years ago, but I was covering other people's reports, but I just can't remember who. The point is that it appeared there was nothing new, and even the media is saying there's nothing new, and the Attorney General has sent letters to the FBI director saying, hey, people are in trouble. I want everything that's been hidden. She's had whistleblowers that we've confirmed, high level, that the FBI is hiding information, obviously, at the Southern District of New York, and that's where the main investigations went on, and that showdown's happening at 8 a.m. in the morning. So this is obviously a lot of moving parts and complex, but when they finally actually scanned one of the reporters that did get it, the entire thing out, now we know a lot more. And we now know that when she released this morning, she put in there the letter that said this is a major scandal and I've been lied to by the FBI, and according to our witnesses, they are destroying evidence. And now she sent the FBI in, the loyal ones, to get the information that hasn't been erased, and it's got to be there by 8 a.m. tomorrow in the showdown. So now I want to just go through quickly, because there's 600 pages right here plus, of what the FBI's had on their website for 5 years. And most of what's in here is what is in the so-called new information. But then I noticed some things towards the end that I'd never seen before. So we went and spent an hour, checked all the other available stuff, and sure enough, in case I'm missing it, there's some huge new stuff in here. So I'm sorry this is taking time, but there's a lot of pieces here. Now I'm going to show you this information. And it's world leaders and their names right next to underage girls, and the photos have been covered up and their names. So when Pam Bondi said on Fox News last night, oh yeah, this is some really nasty stuff, and this is people doing terrible things, this is what she's talking about. The problem is that they didn't just redact in this the names of the girls. There are other people's names and things redacted. So this just needs to be released. So let's go through it right now. All right, so first off, we stopped printing at about 300 pages. It's over 600, but I just wanted to be able to hold up the actual document to you. We've gone through all this. This is what's on the FBI website since 2020. And most of it's redacted, and there's almost nothing in here. Also, it's come out in civil court, the flight logs, and some of the names, people in his Rolodex. This information has already all been out, all right? And then everybody noticed right away this morning when this stuff started coming out, and they had that little press conference and then gave some of the independent media their binders, that when people started looking at it, they're like, wait, these are the flight logs. Wait, these are the names we've seen before. What's going on here? But on the cover sheet is her letter explaining, I've been lied to, they've got more, they're reportedly destroying evidence, I'm having it all sent to me, that's an order to Cox Patel. So this is new. Then it goes to this glossary, and I looked at it, almost everything on there we've already gotten. And then as soon as I saw this, I remembered it, I went and matched it up. These are flight logs and people flying. You got Bill Gates in there, you got the Clintons in there, you got all that stuff. We already had this years ago. And it goes on and on. We already have all this. All right? But when you start getting towards the end, or about 60% through, I started seeing some things I hadn't seen before. Now I've seen these blacked out names, I've seen sheets like this, but I went and checked. Some of these are new. And redactions for personal contact information. And you can see it's almost all blacked out. And then there's a lot of connections when you know the whole story to people that are involved in bad stuff, but also a lot of innocent people. So he had all these contacts mixed together for all different types of businesses, people repairing things, aircraft, you name it. All right? Now remember, there's buildings full of files and stuff they took photos of, just the stacks of notebooks, the stacks of hard drives. I mean, we're just talking room after room. But we're being told this is everything there is, and Pam Bondi's told this is everything. So you start getting into all this, and it would take weeks to go through it. We've gone through this years ago, and it leads into all sorts of stuff, but it's still just the tip of the iceberg. But the really important stuff comes at the end, all right? And when everybody first got this, most of them didn't even upload it. With the reporters, they thought, oh, this is nothing. Nope. Slipped in there. I don't want to miss it. And there's all sorts of clubs and hotels and names and women that manage the girls and all the rest of it. So this is all mixed in with just normal activity with bad stuff. And you've got Jeffrey Epstein and all this information and it laid out a bunch of politicians' names and other things. But you really can't tell anything from this. But then you start getting to the new information. And so right at the end, turn this around, they slip in, redacted to protect victim information. And this is reportedly, according to Pam Bondi, the AG, the names of victims, which she talks about over 250. But it's all blacked out because it's the victims. Then you get a few pages that is, in and of itself, huge. Look at this. Secret Service personnel, Mr. Ehud Barak, former Prime Minister of Israel, on J. Epstein's planes, and John Luke Brunel, who's got suicide a few years ago, scout for young females, models, David Copperfield, that's all blacked out, and then Eve Anderson, former model, mother of Naked Pick, mother of the naked kid, I guess that was attached. David Cook, Palm Beach, goes on witness, interacted with Chef Daly, underage girls. Okay? And it's just an FBI report. It doesn't even explain it. But we know that Ehud Barak got caught repeatedly coming in and out with what looked like underage girls out of the compound in New York that we visited and covered before, right here. And of course, he's denied all of that. But here they are talking about scouting in the whole area of underage girls, all connected to this.
So just like the CIA killed JFK and took over the U.S. government and began puppeteering all the presidents, Mossad got control of Ehud Barak, probably not the first one. Mossad puppeteering the Israeli government and the CIA. Shit is crazy, man. It's fucked up.
And you got Ghislaine Maxwell on here. You know, she's the daughter of the famous MI6 Mossad guy that literally ran the sex operations going back 60 years ago. So this looks like it's an FBI report. You'll read at the front. It basically says it is, but doesn't give much detail. And now they go into redacted to protect potential victim information. And you heard her on Fox News last night say 200. She goes, actually over 250. And indeed, it is over 250, 254. Zoom in on that. 254 to be exact. So
I guarantee you that's only a partial list.
let's zoom back in on what's really important here. And that is Secret Service escorting Ehud Barak, Prime Minister of Israel, and this is in an FBI report, handwritten notes, scouting for young girls. Well, let's just go talk to Jean-Luc Brunel. Oh, I'm sorry. Jean-Luc Brunel isn't doing too well right now. He committed suicide a few years ago by hanging.
Interesting. Hanging.
And he died on February 19th, age 75, in France. So won't be talking to him anytime soon. Then you've got Peter Nygaard, you know, in prison now for doing the same stuff, including weird medical experiments, having women have babies so they could kill them before 9 months so he could suck all the juices out of them. Folks, I'm not making this up.
Like Christopher Reeve in that South Park episode where he was drinking the stem cell from fetuses, the stem cells, and could walk again, and he was like getting superpowers from it. Kind of like Adrena of the Chrome variety. You know, can we say that on YouTube? I don't know.
Okay, we have clips of him bragging about it. Here it is. Well, actually, I had the clip in here. It's just too insane. This is a giant industry, ladies and gentlemen, and the fashion industry and these runway models and all this that you learned USAID was paying the Ukrainians to go to millions of dollars are international prostitution operations, and then the underage models they're having sex with as well. So there is new information. None of this other stuff was new. And that just shows you how these people deceive. Here it is. Epstein Files Phase 1. This is direct scan copies of what was given to them today. And it's a bunch of old stuff with, 10 pages or so? I mean, I guess I could count them up. It looks like 10 pages. So they know, technically, it is some new stuff. And then it's already known about Ehud Barak. I mean, that's been in the news a decade ago. But it's still important. They have the files. They have all the real information. And we know they're covering it up. But it turns out, and when we're wrong, we'll correct. But I said, hey, looks like this is all old. Everybody else went, yeah, it's old. And no, there was some real new stuff. It looks like slipped into there. But we'll be covering the big showdown tomorrow at 8 a.m. She's ordered it all delivered to her offices, no matter how much. She says, go read the letter. Put it on screen. This is a big, big deal.
Apparently, it just didn't happen. Didn't happen. Since I mentioned it, here's documents from the drop about Epstein being an FBI informant. We already knew this, but nonetheless, Jeffrey Epstein was an FBI informant, says Ian Miles Chong. You'd understand why the FBI office in New York wants to keep its dealings with him a secret, because it would make them look very bad if it looks like they looked the other way while he was trafficking minors. Title: General Forfeiture Matters. Jeffrey Epstein, WSTA, Child Prostitution. Epstein has also provided information to the FBI as agreed upon. Case agent advised that no federal prosecution will occur in this matter as long as Epstein continues to uphold his agreement with the state of Florida. Well, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Yeah, you guys check this out. Wiley just shared this in the chat. It's a website to the Department of Education where you can go and report illegal discriminatory practices at schools. So if DEI type crap is going on, you can go report it over at this website, enddei.ed.gov. And I added it to the show notes. Thanks, Wiley, for that tip. Appreciate that. Let's check in with Jesse Waters over here. Bobby D posting this. At this point, I'd fire everyone at the FBI, CIA, and DOJ and start from scratch. Hey, that's what I've been saying. I'd also charge everyone at the NYC FBI with treason. These departments are way past repair. You do know that Epstein was an asset to our intelligence agencies. Yeah. Let's take a look at Waters over here.
So who's in charge at the New York FBI field office? Who's withholding Epstein docs from the Attorney General? James Dennehy is running the show there. There he is. This is the guy who emailed his whole staff to dig in after Trump took office. And don't forget that James Comey's daughter is an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. She worked on the Epstein and Maxwell cases. She's kind of knee-deep in this. Epstein was facing sex trafficking charges in Lower Manhattan. Where's all that paperwork? The FBI seized computers, surveillance videos, banking records, file cabinets, and photographs from all of Epstein's properties in New Mexico, the Virgin Islands, Palm Beach.
But then all Pam Bondi gets is 200 pages, and she's not suspicious about that?
And in New York.
I mean, I guess she was, but...
The Justice Department also gave Epstein a sweetheart non-prosecution deal 17 years ago. Where are those files? The Bureau of Prisons. Where are those files? You remember where Epstein killed himself? I asked Bill Barr about that, why everything seemed to go wrong that night.
When I first heard all the information and all the
Bill Barr's asshole.
here, I was
Bill Barr, out of everybody, his dad is the dude who gave Epstein his first job at some school. You can't trust Bill Barr out of everybody on the planet.
suspicious.
What were the coincidences? I mean, those were a lot of coincidences.
Well, one of the cameras was out.
Right.
He was supposed to have a cellmate. The cellmate left. They didn't replace the cellmate. And the guards who were supposed to check him every half hour didn't check him.
My EMT source said he was on the scene immediately to pull Epstein's body out to the morgue. And when he got to the cell, he saw 7 people there touching Epstein's body and moving stuff around.
Sketchy. And speaking of Ehud Barak, here's Jake Shields posting. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak visited Jeffrey Epstein a minimum of 36 times from 2013 to 2017. That's a 12-hour flight each direction. This shows the importance that Epstein holds to Israel and why you will never see the real files. Interesting stuff. Speaking of hanging and everything, Ryan Matta at Ryan Matta Media posting, the man who performed the autopsy of over 1,000 prisoner suicides by hanging claims that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
But the key reason Dr. Bodden thinks Jeffrey Epstein's death might be a homicide is because of the unusual fractures he saw in Epstein's neck.
There were fractures of the left, the right thyroid cartilage, and the left hyoid bone.
Yeah, I'm sure you could pull that off with prison paper blankets.
This is an autopsy photo of Epstein's broken hyoid bone, a U-shaped bone that sits under the jaw that part of the tongue attaches to. The thyroid cartilage sits at the front of the neck.
I have never seen 3 fractures like this in a suicidal hanging. Sometimes there's a fracture of the hyoid bone or a fracture of the thyroid cartilage.
But not 3.
Very unusual to have 2 and not 3. And going over 1,000 jail hangings, suicides in the New York City state prisons over the past 40, 50 years, no one had 3 fractures.
The New York City Medical Examiner's Office disputes Bodden's theory, saying that fractures of the hyoid bone and cartilage can be seen in suicides and homicides, and they stand firmly behind their finding of suicide by hanging. Then there's the 2 nooses. This was the one that was sketched and included in the autopsy by the medical examiner, presumably because they thought it was
Looks like an Egyptian ankh, interestingly.
Used in Epstein's death. But Dr. Bodden says that noose and the wounds on Jeffrey Epstein's neck don't appear to match.
What do you see when you see these 2 things together?
What I see here is that this noose doesn't match the ligature furrow mark. It's wider than this.
To the naked eye, it looks like there's some
What's
blood
up, Sig?
here, and it doesn't look like there's any blood on this noose.
That's right. This looks like a clean noose that was never used to compress anybody's neck.
There's also something that's striking about the photos. The wound is down here. You'd think if somebody hung themselves, the wound would be maybe up here.
Yes. Most hangings, especially free hangings, the ligature slides up to beneath the jawbone, the mandible. Here it's in the middle of the neck.
Dr. Bodden says a wound straight across the neck is more common when a victim is strangled by a wire.
From behind. Yep. What would Dexter say? No blood. No blood. No sticky, hot, messy blood. No blood at all. I can't think. What the hell, man? The blood all over the wound. No blood on the noose. Makes 0 sense. 0 sense. No camera footage.
This room are some of the most important.
What a coincidence. What a coincidence, man. What a coincidence. Let's see. We have this is a conspiratorial report posting this. This is why Kash Patel wiped all the Epstein Israel files. We have an accusation against Kash over here. Kash's girlfriend worked at PragerU, CEO of PragerU, completed a primary education, served in Military Intelligence Unit 8200 of the Israel Defense Forces. So that's a little weird, a little bit of a weird connection there. And I wouldn't say it's definitive, but isn't Unit 8200 like their straight up global propaganda unit that they use to manipulate and change and alter and dictate the discourse of conversation and, stuff all around the world? 8200. Super sketchy. Yep, that's right. SIG, Dems and Repubs, all are tied to Zionism. General fact. Not me, not Ron Paul, not Thomas Massey. Super messed up, but I'm also not a Democrat or Republican. So how about this? Same Southern District of New York that is now hiding the Epstein files that reveal crimes against children is also the SDNY that had possession of and hid Anthony Weiner's laptop. That means they've been running cover for the pedophiles for years. Sounds about right. Sidney Powell claimed that when the New York police officers saw some of the crimes on the laptop, they had to throw up in disgust. Strong letters will not suffice. We need perp walks and firing immediately. Our own FBI is running cover for the crimes against humanity. Yeah, what they should do is Trump should deputize BlackRock or something, or not BlackRock, Blackwater, Eric Prince or something, and just send them in to fucking raid the FBI, because we can't send FBI to raid FBI. CIA can't operate domestically. What are we supposed to do? We got to, I don't know. We got to raid the fuck out of these places, though. Get to the bottom of this. Here's Sidney Powell talking about the Wiener laptop thing.
They specifically did not look at the BlackBerry backups, and they didn't look at a fraction of the emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop. So one of the things, if I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it. There's a lot that can be prosecuted, I have no doubt, on that laptop. In fact, I heard that the New York police officers who saw some of it, even though they're hardened investigators, literally had to go throw up. It's bad.
I'm assured that's it. Kash asked the same questions. Assured there's no more. I found out, this week that a source told me New York, SDNY, they're sitting on thousands of pages of documents regarding Epstein. Thousands. And of course, you've seen the very strong letter. We will get everything. We will have it in our possession. We will redact it, of course, to protect grand jury information and confidential witnesses. But the American people have a right to know. And Donald Trump is the most transparent president in our nation's history. So not only will America get the full Epstein files, they will get JFK, they will get Martin Luther King.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. You got to be a little bit patient. Of course, Pam Bondi's not Wonder Woman, as I saw somebody post over here. We can't expect her to just come in and immediately, somehow magically work past all of the people that are trying to prevent this information from coming out. Let's see, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I don't know. I can't find where that specific post was, but got to be a little bit patient. We shouldn't rush to judgment on this, but it's definitely not cool and not very, not suspicious. It's a little suspicious. Let's check in with Mark Wayne Mullen saying we have to call it out. Why didn't Biden release the Epstein files? Who was running the country the last 4 years? Hypocrites like Tim Kaine can't say. I just saw this and thought we'd check it out.
When you start talking about Epstein, there was 4 years, the last 4 years, that the Biden administration could release the records, and they didn't happen. Today, Pam Bondi is. So it makes you wonder who actually has something to hide, because by you making those references, you make the references like all of a sudden President Trump has something to hide on it. It actually is getting to the point where it's laughable, because every single time we're here, you guys can't be focused just on the person we're voting on. You got to go after President Trump. You got to go after President Trump. You got to accuse him of making assumptions.
Somebody needs to stand up and say something, and if you won't, I'm going to.
Where was you standing up for Biden when he was completely incognitive of even running the country? He wasn't even able to run the country. I didn't hear you speak one single time about that.
If you can't stand up, somebody needs to, Senator.
You couldn't stand up. That's so hypocritical of you even to say that. Not one single time did you ever say anything about President Trump's inability to run the country.
Sure I did. You weren't paying attention.
Who was running the country the last 4 years?
You weren't paying attention.
Who was running the country the last 4 years?
Open your ears and smell the coffee and pay attention. Who was running the country?
Ask the question, who was running the country the last 4 years? It wasn't Biden. And you know that.
Yep. Hypocrites. How about this? Quartering. We talked about this yesterday when all of a sudden DC Drano and Chad Prather came out and pasted the same message, like a cookie cutter bullshit dumbass statement on X about this whole thing. Look at this. And we were kind of covering it at the time, and Chad Prather had claimed that he copied and pasted it from DC Drano. So we were thinking, I was saying, oh, cool, we're getting the narrative debunked, the idea that it's a narrative being pushed, debunked in live time. But now that's in question too. Look at this from the Quartering. MAGA influencer who got the, quote, Epstein files, unquote, caught lying twice and posting an obviously prepared statement. Oof, never trust one of these people again. Here's DC Drano saying, wrote that post myself. Nobody gave us those talking points. Can't help if others shared it. And then there are community notes saying Chad Prather could not have, quote, copied and pasted, unquote, Rogan O'Handley, a.k.a. DC Drano's post, as Chad made his statement 13 minutes before DC Drano's post, linking to archived things again. Here he is commenting underneath Quartering's post saying, false once again. I wrote that post on my own, posted it, deleted it after 10 minutes, then reposted it once a little later. Others had copied it while it was up the first time. So I don't know. Maybe we're seeing it actually debunked again in live time. Is there an archive copy of the original deleted post? If he had deleted it after 10 minutes and then reposted it again, that would explain this. So this community note is not applicable for this. Hopefully this is true, man. Hopefully this is true. He's posting in response to the Quartering, saying that this is bullshit and that he had posted it before Chad Prather's initial post. So I guess we're going to have Elon Musk do a little digging in the X servers. So I don't know what's true anymore. I don't know what's going on. Oh, man. If this is true, that makes sense because, that's also lines up with what Chad Prather said. I don't know what's going on, guys. Let's check in with Benny Johnson. Whistleblower Kyle Seraphin says FBI Director Kash Patel needs to fly to New York and demand all the Epstein files and answers today. I agree. Nothing less will suffice. You need to go down there. It's like Billy Madison. You get your ass up off that couch and you find that fucking dog. You go down to the FBI and you make a fucking stink, man.
We have footage right here on the footage that should have never been public, right? That's a dude flying a drone of the FBI raiding Epstein's island with the New York Police Department, all right? You can see their shiny vests. And these bros in this frame and all out of play, they're carrying out they have an entire human army carrying out boxes of information.
Yep.
You can see the FBI carrying the physical information from Jeffrey Epstein's Pedo Island.
Yep. And then when Luke Rudowski went over there with a couple dudes and infiltrated the island, that was after the FBI had already showed up and confiscated all the servers and the VHS tapes and everything like that. So they have this shit, or at least they had it. They had this shit. Wiley, did you? I did not see that news. Do you have a link, Wiley? Please post that link. Wiley saying, comment censored, but they did. Did you see the news of raiding the SDNY? I did not see that. If you got a link, please send it. Thank you.
And then they're just going to lie. They're just going to straight up lie to Pam Bondi and actually humiliate her, which is what makes my blood boil. They embarrassed her.
They don't feel accountable. They don't feel accountable to the attorney general. If I'm going to give advice to Kash Patel, I'll do it just here. Like,
I think Kyle Serafin's legit. In my opinion, I know there's a lot of controversy about him.
To everybody, this is what should happen.
Thanks, Wiley.
Kash should jump on that plane, which we talked about last time. He can get on there and he could be in New York in a few minutes. Yes. He needs to go up there, take James Dennehy, who's been on a conference call and resisting, apparently, like releasing any of this information. He needs
just fire him immediately. How is this even a question? If he's resisting and all this shit, put him in fucking cuffs, drag him out of there.
To stand in his office and give him the direct order, open up the file that covers all of these investigations in Sentinel, which is the record-keeping sort of system of records for the computer. Pull it up and go serial by serial. And every single person that approved a serial is an entry, whether it be an interview, whether it be a piece of evidence, every single person that was involved in this case, whether they're an evidence technician, whether they were an SOS, like some kind of an analytical personnel, whether they were an intelligence analyst or the FBI case agent who was working on it. Any person that did an interview, that collected evidence, that did anything that has their name on it needs to be called into a conference room, whatever field office they're in. And if there's a retired person that's in there and they've left the bureau, send somebody to their house to hang out with them and get the answers like by the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely do that. We need answers immediatamente. Boom, just added that link. Thanks, Wiley. How about this one? Ghislaine Maxwell's sister, Isabel Maxwell, is the technological director of the World Economic Forum. The tentacles reach far and wide. Also the sister of Ghislaine Maxwell, one of the world's most notorious child traffickers and partner of Jeffrey Ep. The memberships to Epstein Island and the WEF are the same. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. World Economic Forum, intimately connected with the sister of Ghislaine Maxwell. Here's the post from Wiley from Great Awakening. Win at Diligent Denizen. Scoop. A caravan of FBI trucks and agents went into the underground parking lot of 26 Federal Plaza last night and have not come out since yesterday. It looks like Kash Patel may have sent trusted agents over to SDNY to handle things himself. This was posted a few hours ago. Let's check over here and see if we have any updates about this. Correction, 26 Federal Plaza is the location of FBI NYO New York field office. Same FBI office that AG Pam Bondi said was not cooperating and withholding documents. So that's good. There are reporters who have been camped out at the location since early evening yesterday. That's all I can say about the source. Let's see if we have any updates from Diligent Denizen with sources on the scene. I will follow him as well right now. Let's see. 4 hours ago, the exact moment President Zelensky of Ukraine called J.D. Vance a bitch. Holy shit. Did that happen? I didn't see that. Let's watch this real quick before we continue scrolling down.
Watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people,
Suka.
you bring them watched and seen the stories.
No way.
And I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them.
Wow.
You bring them.
He definitely said it. I could hear it. That's insane. You got your fucking ass kicked out, Zelensky. Oh, man. I want pink mist. Immediately. I'm not saying they should, tomahawk missile his plane as he's heading back to Ukraine. But, it's an option. Fucking loser. Let's see. Do we have any updates about the situation? All we got is Zelensky stuff. taking on sponsors. Hey, Ukraine, the grift is over. Yep. Finito. Finito. No updates on Epstein. Panicked AOC sent a letter to Pam Bondi asking if she is really under investigation for giving advice to criminal aliens on how to evade ICE. Whiskey Peddler in the house. What's up, Whiskey? Good to see you, bro. Boom! Yeah, Dame Pam, that meeting got really heated. We'll cover that in a bit. We'll cover that in a bit. Insane. Oh, look, he got all dressed up for today. All dressed up. What a scumbag. What a scumbag. Okay, so here's some, nope, no updates. That's all we got, man. All we got from Diligent Denizen. Dame Pam, Zelensky sounded like a spoiled kid. Absolutely. Bigly. Speaking of Zelensky, I just saw this from Epstein's sheet. I saw this when searching for Epstein stuff to see if there were any updates a minute ago. Our tax dollars at work. Don't be fooled by Zelensky. Much of the war footage from Ukraine was staged. And it looks like they got some shenanigans going on over here. Good to know, Dozer. Thanks. Action! So who knows, man? Who knows? All I know is that Zelensky is a cunt. And there's no cure for that. Unfortunately for the Ukrainian president.
For being a cunt.
No cure for being a cunt. No cure whatsoever. All right, let's see what we got next on the list over here. Apparently, Cash and Bondi released a statement earlier today. President Donald Trump's FBI Director Kash Patel has publicly responded to a letter from Attorney General Pam Bondi requesting the full documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Bondi's letter alleged that a whistleblower informed her that she was not provided with all the documents from the Epstein case. So, quoting from the letter that we saw yesterday, which was posted publicly, responding to the letter in a post on X, Kash Patel wrote, quote, "The FBI is entering a new era, one that will be defined by integrity, accountability, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned, and anyone from the prior or current bureau who undermines this will be swiftly pursued." So here's his original post. He continued, "If there are gaps, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them. And we will bring everything we find to the DOJ to be fully assessed and transparently disseminated to the American people as it should be. The oath we take is to the Constitution, and under my leadership, that promise will be upheld without compromise." I hope he's for real, man, because if he's not, we're in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. Department of Justice released the first phase yesterday, and hopefully we will get more. This Department of Justice is following through on President Trump's commitment to transparency and lifting the veil on all the disgusting actions of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators, said Bondi. The first phase of files released today shines light on Epstein's extensive network and begins to provide the public with long overdue accountability. Hopefully we get a lot more on this. A lot more. So we did see that she is demanding all the stuff to be released. We also had a crazy event go on yesterday as the House Judiciary Committee rickrolled the American public regarding the Epstein files, which made a lot of people bigly mad. Wow. This is wild stuff. The House Judiciary GOP account on X, formerly Twitter, posted a link claiming to be the Jeffrey Epstein files, but it was a rickroll, leading to Rick Astley's song, "Never Gonna Give You Up." This prank has drawn significant backlash for insensitivity, given the serious nature of the Epstein crimes involving child trafficking and abuse. post was later deleted after widespread criticism. People were really mad. So here's the thing. Breaking Epstein files released. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Brutal. Brutal. So obviously something like this should never be posted by an official government source, right? They're not supposed to lie to the public. They're not supposed to mislead the public. They need to just be honest and do stuff like that. All that aside, fucking hilarious in my opinion. It cuts deep, and it cuts deep because it's such a poignant message that, they're claiming, they're like holding out a carrot. When you go to snap it, they're pulling it away. So, I think it's not cool that it came from the House Judiciary Committee, but it makes a lot of sense. It's a real thing. Let's hear what Natalie Winters has to say about it.
Because in this show, we are all about calling out and holding these feckless, weak, loser congressional Republicans who love to run around with their strongly worded letters, though in this case, all we got was a strongly worded, funny, cutesy tweet, and act like they're really tough. And we know that it's you guys, the audience, who's the only people who are actually able to give them a backbone. But despite what's happened today with the Epstein files, we're going to get into it, they thought it would be funny to put out a tweet, breaking Epstein files released. Now, if you click through and you can see sort of the little disclaimer there, it's actually a link to a YouTube video of a Rick Astley music video, Never Gonna Give You Up. That's what our congressional Republicans in the very serious House Judiciary GOP committee think about the release of the Epstein files. Shame on you guys. Now, it's not even...
I think it's not cool because it's coming from an official government source and they need to not lie to the public. But it is a very potent criticism mocking the executive branch for claiming it was going to be this big thing and getting nothing. They effectively rickrolled us. And so it made sense, but the government definitely shouldn't be doing stuff like
even
that.
Funny because what we're talking about is the sexual abuse
Who spanked who? Hoot, hello,
of young
good to see
women,
you, bro.
extremely young women, and the manipulation of this country at the highest levels, probably by foreign governments.
Thanks for that beverage you sent me, Hoot Holla, by the way. I'm looking forward to checking it out as soon as I'll be able to enjoy it. Looks delicious. Thank you, my friend.
Governments, actually, I rephrase that to definitely by foreign governments, would love to see the impact policy-wise, country-wise that we've had because of people who are compromised, the names who are on those Epstein lists. But it gets to the heart of the issue that everything that congressional Republicans do is performative.
Right. They never get anything done, unfortunately. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna also very mad about this, vowing to fire the staffer over the disgraceful Rickroll prank on House Judiciary X account instead of the Epstein files. Wow. Can't believe they did this still. Hilarious, but they shouldn't have done. Oh, man. So, Anna Paulina Luna, very mad. Here's what happened. Click it. Takes you to a redirect. Billdozer, she's always cute, Billdozer. I would never give her up or let her down. You know what I'm saying? So Anna Paulina Luna, the amount of people hurt by Epstein is not a joke. Whoever posted it is going to get fired. Disgusting behavior. Disgusting indeed. And Alex Jones also was not happy about this at all. Look at how fucking pissed Alex was. GOP House Judiciary Committee launched an elaborate hoax prank on their official X account, claiming to release part 2 of the Jeffrey Epstein pedophiles that sent users on a wild goose chase, ending with a Rickroll YouTube video. Oh, man. Look at how mad he is here.
Comprised of LCSO, Homeland Security investigators, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement was responsible for the arrest of, as I said, 19 individuals, 49 contacts for solicitation, 80 contacts for human trafficking of juvenile victims, and multiple ongoing investigations.
I mean, Jim Jordan, I know you're smart, and I've seen your staff. They're pretty sharp. So what the fuck? Look, I'm
justifiably
the first
mad.
person to acknowledge I've done some stupid things on air in the last 30 years, and I've made mistakes.
Mooga.
And it's been people that pointed it out to me that helped me be a better person. That said, this really pisses me off. And Jim Jordan needs to find out who did this in his office. They need to get in a lot of trouble. So let me break down what's happened. Pam Bondi is told by the FBI, here are all the files. And then on Epstein. And as soon as they come out today, instantly when I saw them, I went, those are the old flight logs. Those are his old Rolodex of contacts. That's not his client list. This has been out, different pieces of it, for 6 years. It's been on the FBI website since 2020. All 600 pages of it, almost all of it redacted. So they simply took the 20-something pages out of it that weren't redacted, but were already public, and they gave that to her. And she now came out today and said, I was set up. I was told by Kash Patel, and I was told by the FBI that this was everything under penalty of perjury. And she's obviously not an Epstein expert or even a novice, or she would have known instantly about this. So...
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you hear 200 pages, you're like, bullshit. There's hundreds of thousands, probably, and, whole, like, warehouse is probably full of videotapes and shit.
I sat back when I saw these and I said, she better come out and explain she's been...
She was either clearly uninformed or in on it. And I'm guessing the former.
Conned. Well, then we learned she sent this letter out saying, I hear you're destroying evidence from whistleblowers. I hear you covered up all this stuff in the Southern District of New York. I want a criminal investigation of this. And she told Kash Patel, I'm not saying you're involved in this, but whoever lied to you, investigate them criminally. And I want everything in my offices in D.C. by 8 a.m. tomorrow. That is an order.
Sig. Hey, you guys. What's up, Sig?
So this, whoever set her up with this stuff, and of course we know who, because that's all that's in the D.C. files was this, thought that we're too stupid to understand what happened here and would just think that she was covering up. No. She's coming and saying, you're giving it all to me and I'm releasing it. Now, how is Jim Jordan involved in this? Well, it's one thing to have the deep state troll us with old information that's already come out in criminal and these different civil lawsuits and insult our intelligence. It is completely another thing to have the House Judiciary Committee today say Epstein 2 drop has happened. And this was called the first drop today, the Nothing Burger. Just it's empty because there's no new information in it. And then you go through all these links to files and the rest of it, and these sub-websites, an elaborate joke. And then it takes you to a YouTube page, and it's a rickroll. I mean, this is disgusting. We're talking about massive intelligence agency, Mossad, CIA, MI6, child trafficking to set people up at honeypots. We're talking about how the deep state controls people. We're talking about sex slavery and trafficking. And it's going on all over the place. And the hundreds of thousands of kids smuggled in here that they admit have been found in sex slavery, some dead.
So fucked up. Donna pointing out Cash just started. I'm sure they're fucking with Cash. Yeah, they're probably trying to, sabotage our people in places and then simultaneously turn all of us against them, like a divide and conquer and sabotage simultaneously thing. So let's give it a little bit of patience. Let's not completely turn on all of our supposed people yet. It might take a little bit to puncture the fortifications that were put in place by the deep state, knowing that our people were going to be getting in. So kind of expected,
And Tom Homan doing a great job, and the Border Patrol getting shot at and killed trying to save these kids. And then you have the House Judiciary Committee put out a link on their official site. I mean, one thing if it was the Babylon Bee or something, you'd know it was satire. They didn't say satire alert, any of this, and then you spend minutes going through these files, you're about to get the mother load, and it's a rickroll. When Trump got in the first time 8 years ago, the Republicans all got giddy. It was like they were at the prom or something. And we're just invincible, everything's great, and we got our asses taken over by the deep state, even worse. Okay? This is a war. Trump knows it's a war. He's very serious. This isn't a game. This isn't a fucking joke.
Like DMX said, you think this a game? You think this a motherfucking game? Arr, arr, arr.
Okay? And a lot of people are pissed off about this, okay? So, Jim Jordan, if you want to have a satire site on the side, tell us it's the Jim Jordan satire site. And I hope this wasn't you. But whoever did this needs to get on, a month without pay or something. Probably fired. I'm sure whatever moron did this has already caused some problems, so they probably should be fired. Okay? So we already got trolled once, and so did the Attorney General today. And now we're getting trolled by you.
Think about that. Going on a government X account and rickrolling the public. That's insane. Highly unprofessional. Highly unprofessional.
I mean, Jim Jordan, I know you're smart, and I've seen your staff. They're pretty sharp. So what the fuck? Seriously. Millions of people who want to bring down the globalists and bring them to justice went and looked at this, and people are pissed. So no more games, no more sophomoric stuff. We're not in a fraternity eating our boogers, okay? This is a man's world. We've gone through hell fighting the deep state. Tried to kill Trump twice, trying to destroy my life. I believe in America, and I believe we can beat these people. When we got a good shot, we're winning right now. So cut the crap, Republicans, and get a war face on and get in the game or resign. Now, let's talk about people who are honorable.
War face.
Every day I see stories like this around the country, and it gets almost no attention. So, if Kash Patel can't find all the child rape videos and the rest of us, we can bring on the globalists. And I'm not saying he's bad, but we're starting to move the needle there. If he doesn't do his job, maybe we can get rid of him and we can hire this sheriff in Florida where they just caught a giant sex ring raping kids. And it was firefighters and elementary school teachers and illegal aliens and college professors. Yeah, these cults are all over the place. It's satanic. So we got a lot of kids to save, Jim Jordan. We know the Democrats are a bunch of pedophiles and transgender people that want to mutilate kids, want to abuse kids. But making a joke out of this really hurts the cause. So I'm pissed off, and I want an apology on this.
Boom. Boom. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Cannabis connoisseur, wood chippers for pedos. After due process, of course, that is our official, common-censored, endorsed proposal for updated methods of execution for child abusers. Wood chippers for pedos, ropes for treason, volcanoes for climate hoaxers, and, of course, spikes for pandemic perpetrators. All after due process, of course. FBI's asso, fuck you. We're still saying FBI's asso, fuck you, because they're still asso. Fuck you, FBI. How about this? Comey family member was lead prosecutor in Epstein case in the Southern District of New York, where files released to DOJ were heavily redacted. Many missing. So the focus over here on Maureen Comey. And a lot of places covering this, from Epstein to Diddy. Spotlight shines on James Comey's prosecutor daughter. What a bitch. What a bitch. These people are evil, man. It didn't fall very far from the tree in this case. That's right, Sig. Always feet first in the chipper for the peds. Let's go ahead and terminate the YouTube broadcast. While we are thinking about it, I'm going to post a link for Rumble over in the YouTube feed. If you're watching it over on YouTube, come join us on Rumble. If you can't make it, we'll catch you on Monday, but we'll keep going for a little bit over on Rumble and X. So come join us, or not, I guess. Until next time, let's get ready to rumble. Boom! Oh, you can hear my voice is still a little fucked up when I try to go real high.